Hi guys, this is me, Kirill, your Justice Analyst, and I'm ready to take a look at the next country taking part in the Eurovision 2025. And the country I'm taking a look at this time is the country which is basically on fire since 2020. I feel that I'm on fire. But not just because of the song by the group, but simply because Lithuania since 2020 has never left top 14. So each and every year they come back with different types of songs, sometimes in Lithuanian language, sometimes in English, but it always works and Lithuania always finishes so high. Their national selection Eurovizija.LT is maybe not one of the most popular ones in the Eurovision community, but definitely one of the longest because it consists of 5 semifinals and a final show, so basically 6 weeks long. I didn't really follow the selection this year. I now, before recording this video, just have checked all the songs which didn't come to win this year. So basically starting from place 2 till all the last places in the semifinals. And I have to say, nothing did really stand out for me so much, maybe apart from very pleasant electronic dance track by Liepa. Liepa has actually made it to the super final of the selection, where she unfortunately got only the 3rd place, but who knows, maybe the winner is much better. Unfortunately, the other songs in the lineup I found a bit more sort of background music, or maybe just not strong enough for Eurovision. But in any case, let's just talk now about the winners, and this was a band called Katarsis. So I would assume the name probably comes from the Greek word, which means something like purification or cleansing. The band actually consists of 4 members. It was formed in 2020. And in 2021, with their single, they already were in top 10 of the Lithuanian charts. The band describes their musical direction as alternative rock or art rock, punk rock. So I'm just about to find out how it exactly sounds, because these terms maybe don't really tell me so much, as I'm not really so much into rock music. But their song is called Tavo, Akys, which means in English your eyes. And let's just take a look at the lyrics in detail. First of all, I have to say I'm quite impressed by how short the lyrics are. So it seems like the song maybe will have even more instrumental parts than the singing parts. The band is probably talking about some kind of passionate feeling, about maybe some sort of relationship, when the person is feeling that just by the look from her eyes, the houses are already burning, they begin to collapse, foundations of everything just begin to rot. Even empty talks, they only fuel the fire between two of you. The person just wants to protect his lover and expresses that seeing pain in the eyes of your lover just gives pain to yourself. So yeah, it's kind of interesting, a little bit abstract talk about relationship. I can't really understand if it's a happy one or a toxic one, because I don't really understand why the lady is presumably feeling some kind of pain. So just without further talking, let's go to the first listen, where I'll take a look at the MP3 track or the official music video if there is any. Unfortunately, there is no music video, but at least some sort of visualizer, so let's go. It's Tavo, Akys. The beginning sounds quite melancholic. Really beautiful vocals from the lead singer. I like how the beat gets a little bit more and more intense. It's quite dark though. I think the relationship is really not so happy one based on what I'm hearing. It sounds very emotional. Yeah, I think with some dark, mysterious staging and a play of light, this might look very impactful. Very unusual style for Eurovision in any case. Wow, what an entry from Lithuania. As I have already said, each and every year they're succeeding while sending something completely different and not really looking like their previous entry. So this year Lithuania has definitely decided to go for something more risky. I think the song is maybe a little bit too dark for the broader audience. Like I can't really imagine, let's say, Spanish televoters or Italian televoters or the Greek ones really going heavily for this. I think maybe Scandinavian countries would rate it better. This reminds me a little bit of Latvian entry a couple of years ago, which was called Eja. They're just both very young bands performing sort of alternative rock. I would say Aya was a little bit more indie style. This one is a little bit more punk influenced, but in any case, there are definitely some parallels, though I'm really curious to see how they have executed it on stage, even though I'm pretty sure it will look probably fantastic because they won this whole selection, which consisted of probably like 50 entries. So that's already a big achievement for this kind of young band. So let's go. It's a bit creepy beginning, I have to say. It gives me a little bit of horror movies vibes. His vocals are excellent. You can see how nervous he is. His hand is kind of shaking. I mean, he's a very young singer, but what he is executing is really, really impressive. Yeah, this is truly melancholic, not really something what gives me immediately Eurovision vibes, but that's what Eurovision is about, you know, to show different types of genres, to give also the stage for young singers, and I'm really glad that Lithuania did this for this beautiful band, Katarsis. I also really like how now this electronic guitar sound, it's just, I'm not really so sure how the general public and especially the juries, if they of course qualify to the final, would react to this type of music. I have to say his eyes are kind of creeping me out. He's like looking right into your soul. Yeah, interesting. I mean, if people really are into this kind of dark music, I think they will appreciate it a lot. We all remember how Bambi Thug did well last year with this very demonic performance. So who knows how far Lithuania can go this year. Exactly what I have actually expected, this kind of blinking light coming now in the end. It just fits so well to the music. I'm glad that they did it. Lithuania will probably not be forgotten in the lineup because there will be nothing else which sounds like that. Yeah, so this was Katarsis from Lithuania. Yeah, it's definitely not something I have expected. Well, I'm also now in such a good mood, and this kind of very melancholic song was really kind of hard emotionally to sit through. And I think that's kind of the point. When people watch Eurovision, they're usually watching it with friends or with their families, having some snacks, just having, you know, fun. Usually, I think people wait more for bops to just enjoy, have fun together, and especially if they're ethnic inspired and they have some references to the particular countries which are present in those bops, that's always great. And Lithuania is this time trying to captivate with something very different, very melancholic. So my current concern is that maybe this entry will not be understood and it's just maybe not really the most fitting song for this kind of happy song contest. But now let's take a look how Lithuania did in the previous years in the semifinals in accordance with the televoting. And as I have already told you in the beginning, Lithuania is definitely on fire, because since 2021 Lithuania has never left top 5 of the semifinals, and as you can see in the last 6 years they have qualified in accordance with the televote on each and every occasion. Just in 2019 actually the juries have put Yuri, I think was his name, a little bit lower, and that's why he didn't qualify in the end. He missed like just 1 point.
Come on, get your freedom now, run wild. Run with the lion.
In general, maybe you don't really notice, but as you see on your screen, in the last 5 years, Lithuania is ranked as country number 3 from 31 in the semifinals this year, in accordance with their semifinal results. Well, basically because on all 5 occasions they of course have qualified to the final, and their results were actually quite high. And even if we take a look at all the last 15 years, there are still 6 most successful countries, again in accordance with the televote, because juries were not always supporting Lithuania. They missed qualifying just 3 times. So it seems like Lithuania knows how to give the televoters what they need. If this will be again a success story for Lithuania or not, how it will do on the big Eurovision stage, for me it's really hard to predict. And if we now take a look at what the bookmakers think about the entry by Katarsis, you can see that they are currently ranking Lithuania as country number 14. I think, well, maybe it's just based on more historical data, how high Lithuania was climbing all the last years. As I have said, Lithuania was never below place 14 in all the last 5 years. I think it might qualify kinda like the band AWS from Hungary did in 2019, I think. You know, they also had this kind of melancholic, very dark rock entry, but that entry in the final didn't really make it into the top 20. Based on their performance from the national selection, I think they already have quite good vision of what they would like to show, this kind of melancholic, a little bit horror vibe performance, which is an interesting concept. Maybe they can just amplify it, elevate it. I can't really give any specific ideas, but maybe telling the story a little bit more through the visuals, because I think the message of the song doesn't really come through, even though you are very much focused on his eyes from time to time, but I don't think that that's really what the song is about. So that's what I have thought about Lithuanian entry. As I have said, it's great that Lithuania is trying to show us different genres, different types of music which are listened to throughout Europe. If it will be a success story or not, time will show, but in any case, wishing good luck to the guys. And if you still haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so, like this video, and I will definitely see you in the next one. Bye bye.